So now we're going to take a look at this area. What I want are large mountains here, or like these cliffs if you like, that lead the character through a very small kind of pass. So let's duplicate this, Control and D, let's bring this over, and this time I want these to be a little bit bigger. Alright, so I'm just going to scale these ones up. Just rotate this around so that it's kind of facing a different direction. Then Control and D. I'll bring this one this side so that there's very kind of narrow pass between them. Not just kind of rotate that around so it's kind of facing a different direction. Then I want to duplicate that one again. And this time have it almost as though it's stuck inside itself. So almost as though they're combined. I want it to have a different shape. Something like this might be good. Okay, so the only way that you can get through there now is through this narrow pass. Alright, this area I'm going to have like a bit of a forest area. However, first I want to guide this path through here. So that's going to be back onto island again. And we'll just go over to painting the path again. Bring my size back down. This should be fine. The opacity. Okay, so I'll leave that there for now, and then obviously we need a bit of a forest, so that's coming back over to our paint trees. Tree density, I do want to keep this quite high. Brush size, maybe about like this. So, oh, actually that's way too high, so Control and Z, bring this down a bit, just a little bit less. Okay. Reason why I don't want to paint way too many trees, it's obviously going to affect the frame rates if you have way too many polygons. Okay, yep, I think that's fine. Then we could start to place some random items in here, so I might want some rocks. So I'm going to bring in one of these big rocks and just make it smaller. Yep, something like this should be fine. Let's do another one, Control and D. It's kind of rotated around. Maybe also rotate it this way a little bit and then just push that down into the ground. Okay, yep, that's fine. Now we do have another stack of rocks that we've not used yet, if I can find them. Here they are, stylized stone. So I might actually just bring this in, it's quite nice. I just want to make that a little bit bigger. Okay, yep, just we push that down just a little bit, that's interesting. We've also got a stump for our trees. And then I want to bring in some big trees as well. So let's find out where we want these. I think I'll bring a big tree in here. Another one here by the edge of this pass. big tree here, and maybe one all the way over here like this. Okay, yep, that's interesting. Now I might put a crate over here. That gives you an incentive to come down here to try and break that open. I might also have a little wooden tree as well. That's massive, isn't it? So maybe not. I might have like a tree stump or tree trunk, if you like, that's all broken. Maybe just push that over here like this. Just maybe even embed it in the ground, which might be interesting. And then possibly put a few little mushrooms around. Might use some purple ones this time. Okay, and maybe just a couple of little red ones, and then obviously the grass as well. It always looks interesting. Okay, this area needs finishing off with the texturing, so let's find island, paint texture, and let's go over to this. Let's just make our brush bigger, the opacity a lot bigger. Okay, good. Now what I can see here is that I'm getting a bit of an issue with this not quite going into the ground, so what I'm going to do there is just basically pull this down a bit, which is also going to make that a little bit more interesting because now they're not at the exact same height. Back onto the, where is it? Back onto the island. Just paint that in now. Okay, great. So we've got something interesting going on there. And wherever I've got large amounts of trees, I actually want to paint in this layer, this really thick grass layer. Okay, so I'll just make my opacity a little bit lower, maybe bring the brush up. And where I've got these, just basically want to paint in this kind of like thick grass. It just makes it look a little bit more interesting, and then same on this side as well. Okay, maybe just a little bit there as well. We also have this wooded area over here. I might do the same on this actually, so just paint this kind of like thick grass area. Okay, probably don't bother with that, that's fine. It's just wherever you've got large amounts of like these kind of forests. But yeah, now we've got an area where we can go through into this side, and it just feels like you're passing a key landmark. Okay, it's like a big precipice that you're entering into. That perhaps the game might change a bit here. There might be more combat on this side, so we'll get into that in the next video. I can see that this coastline is a little bit repetitive, so you might want to break this up with a couple of big stones. Okay, so I'm going to do that before the next video, but experiment, try things out.